So I'm out here early evening, late afternoon of December 20th, Friday. Tomorrow will be the 21st, and then the 22nd will be Sunday, and then before you know it, oh wait, right, and 25th is Wednesday, so 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. So Christmas Eve is on a Tuesday, Christmas Day is on a Wednesday, and then also Hanukkah begins sundown on the 25th. So perfect alignment this year for both of these juxtaposed, usually somewhat opposition there. The Jewish calendar follows a lunar calendar. I've seen the words lunar as lunar solar, but it's a lunar calendar for the Jewish folk. And this year, it actually lines up with Christmas. So for Hanukkah. Anyway. So they said that it would rain, maybe snow, and in fact, occasionally I can see flakes that have a white-ish tint, or so I don't know if there's a little bit, hopefully it doesn't get too slippery or anything like that. I was going to run an errand and try to catch some video along the way. I didn't wear my leg gaiters, my feet and leg gaiters, because it's a big deal to kind of put them on, and they're really big, like it's like a hazmat suit kind of. So I wanted to not really have to do that because it was raining so lightly. So I'll just sort of go along this way. 65 is like the old retirement age. There's a van cookie over there. How many people are picking up all kinds of Christmas gifts. So be careful what kind of message you send. Would you send someone like something that looks like the vein, Levan cookie? So even though I forget, I looked it up, and Levan is in the realm of pastries, like au bon pain is bread, so in French P-A-I-N is bread, so like van is a variation, I guess, in the pastry world. So I have to look it up again, I forget, but it is like a form of a pastry or whatever. Maybe it actually means cookie, I don't know. Le chien is dog, C-H-E-I-N. I got some mints last year as part of a Christmas gift from a client who I walk a dog for, or walk two dogs for, and it has a Picasso drawing or sketch of a dachshund on the top of the mint box, and on the back it says Le Chien. Chien is dog. Alright. Somehow I'm getting the word for hot also, and that's talk about that another time. So I'm on Walnut right now, walking easterly, if you will. I started around 17th Street and I'm approaching 14th Street, which is Broad Street. I just passed 15th where the Cheesecake Factory is. That's the good old Cheesecake Factory. It's a big deal to have a chain restaurant infiltrate the city, especially a city like Philadelphia that prides itself, or used to, on family businesses, family restaurants, independently owned. So bookbinders would be like a good example of a restaurant that was sort of used for examples of independently run, family run restaurants. And bookbinders had a location, they still do, I guess, I don't know if they're still open, in Society Hill / Old City. It's on the south side of Market, so I guess you would call it Society Hill. It's in a historic section of the city. They also used to be on 15th Street, just south of where, is that right? Yeah, just south of where the Cheesecake Factory is. Now it says something like Vinyl, something or other. It was like a Chili's for a while, or some sort of chain restaurant for a while. But they sold that second location, I guess, or moved out of the second location, kept the first location. But that was like one of the first indicators that chain restaurants who were kind of taking over a certain section of the city. Although we had Buco de Beppo, which was on 15th Street. So I don't know what to say. Anyway, that became the big story. That's all I remember. That empty space up there used to be, I guess it's still used, I don't know, a dance studio for students at the University of the Arts above Chase. You used to be able to come by here and see ballerinas practicing and dancers practicing. These days it's just an empty space. Like, I have no idea what they're doing with it. But it felt city-like when you could go by and see all the dancers. I mean, you kind of got used to it if you lived here long enough. You just sort of took for granted that, you know, people were up there rehearsing and practicing and all that. Anyway, dance studio, no longer. Know what it is. It was for a long time it was Robinson Luggage, and then it became Wawa, and now it's a Chase Bank. Sorry. So I head on this way. Anyway, that looks like a different guy. Usually there's a guy I call Popcorn. Maybe this is Popcorn. I don't know. There's a guy who's been here for many, many, many years, watching the show go on, if you will, of the city life. Some people do have that philosophy deeply embedded in their brains, especially if you're not accepted by the status quo. And it's like, what do you do if you never like really fit in or get accepted anywhere? Or there are plenty of people who honestly can't find jobs and they might give up. Like, people are blackballed and stuff even, or people come from all kinds of backgrounds and they're incapable of like working like normal people. So we have self-righteous people who would immediately say, well, nah. It's like, well, what if something happened to you and you actually cannot function? Like, safe frequencies are used on people, so they actually are like, I actually have no idea what to do any longer, you know. Or technically the natural world would say that those folks are above all the people who adapted to the fake world, which would be, you know, mostly what we see today on planet Earth. So there is an argument for that. I totally get it. Anyway, here we are on Walnut, headed towards 13th. Miss Saigon is new-ish. You know, since I've been back, that's been here. I returned in 2021 after an absence 2.5 years in Gainesville, Florida. Holiday Inn Express. So, Feng is a thing. F-E-N-G. We have a Heng Feng all the way over by Rittenhouse, but this is Feng Hot Pot. So that's new. F-E-N-G as opposed to Fang, but it's Feng. You know, with an E, I guess. Mitchell and Ness is over here. They have one down the street from where I live. And Grandma's, you know, Philly over here. And then Rosewood, but it's like a glow bar next to Woody's. This is technically, we're in the neighborhood at this point in time. This would be like the first indicator that you're in the neighborhood. They don't have the neighborhood signage. Oh, you would have to see the flags down there. They don't have the signage up this far, so I'm surprised by that. But all of this is Midtown, and this is all the neighborhood up here, owned by, a lot of restaurants are owned by a lesbian couple